Hello, and welcome. Today we are going to do chapter 3, lesson 7, and it is distributive property. And partial quotients. Oops, I've got the and. Partial quotients. And that is, gosh, it's long, page 195 in your book, to follow along in your book. So we are going to look at distributive properties where we break apart the numbers, so is partial quotients. So we're going to look at if they asked us to do 369 divided by 3, what that would look like. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to break this 369 up in expanded form by its place value. So that would become 300 plus 60 plus 9 if I broke up 369 into its expanded form. And then I'm going to draw a bar model or an area model. We did these with multiplication. And I'm going to break it up like this, and I'm going to put my 300 here, my 60 and my 9, and my divided by 3 from here I'm going to put out here on the left. So you can see that this looks opposite from the area models we were doing for multiplication. When we were doing them for multiplication, we would put the factors across the top, and this time our dividend is inside the box because this is a factor and this is a factor, and we're working it like division. So if we were to do this in this model, right, our answer would go across the top, and that's how we're going to do it here. So first I would divide here, 300 divided by 3. So this becomes 300 divided by 3, which is 100, and that goes across the top. For here, we would do 60 divided by 3, and 60 divided by 3 is 20. And here we would do 9 divided by 3, which is 3. After I have done that, I'm going to take these pieces here, and I'm going to add them. So I would do 100 plus 20 plus 3, and I would get 123. And so that tells me that 369 is, I'm sorry, that should be an equals. Oh my goodness, it's early morning. Is 123. Okay, let's do another example of this distributive property bar diagram. So let's do 462 divided by 2. So first thing I'm going to do is break that apart. So I would have 400 plus 60 plus 2. And then I'm going to draw my bar diagram. And in my first bar I would have 400, then I would have 60, and then I would have 2. And my divisor is going to go out here on the left. So now for this first box, I'm going to do 400 divided by 2. And that is 200. Then I'm going to do 60 divided by 2. 60 divided by 2 is 30. And then I'm going to do 2 divided by 2, which is 1. Then I'm going to take these partial quotients and I'm going to add them. So 200 plus 30 plus 1 would be 231. So 462 divided by 2 is 231. So next we're going to do the partial quotients method. And the partial quotients method is on page 196, and they want us to do 738 divided by 6. And we're going to set it up in this model. We're going to do 738 divided by 6. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to run this down the side. So we know that if we multiply 6 times 100, and I'm going to put that 100 on the side, if we do 6 times 100, that's going to give me a number lower than that 700. It's going to give me 600. So I'm going to do that and subtract. But I'm going to run it down the side because I'm doing each section only a little bit. It is not the full quotient I have to add at the end. So 6 times 100 is 600, and then I'm going to subtract that to see what I have left. And I have 138 left. And now I'm using my skill that I know with zeros. So I have a 13 here, and I know that 6 times 2 is 12. So if I do 6 times 20, I know that I'm going to get 120. And so then I can subtract that and see what I have left. I have 8 and I have 1. And now I can divide 6 into 18. That's a basic fact. And so I know 6 times 3 is 18. And I would go till I get a 0 or something less than the divisor. So I would keep doing this method until I either get a 0 when I subtract or a number less than the divisor. Because if I subtract and get a 6 or a 7 or a 10, that means I can divide 6 into that number one more time. I have to keep going. So after I do that, then I would add these down the side, and I would get 123. So I would know that 738 divided by 6 is 123. And if I wanted to check that, I would do my quotient times my divisor. That's 18, that's 12, 13, and that's 6, 7, and get 738. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Thank you.